Woo. Yo, yo, yo. Mm-hmm. Man, I see y'all already in here. Your boy is scrambling trying to get together. We got it though. We got it. We made it. I feel like we made it. I feel like we made it. We got one for y'all tonight. Make sure I don't get thirsty on the set. What's up, Bomb Squad? How y'all living? How y'all living on a Tuesday night? We hit y'all with that back to back nights. Yep. Back to back nights. Make sure our light is right. I saw the light. What's happening? We live, baby. We live. Make sure everything good. Got my AC on. Yo, this weather is crazy in Texas. We dipped down in the 40s for 2 straight nights, and now we back in the 80s or the 75s or something like that. Yo, this weather is crazy. But we're gonna work with it. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate it. Y'all, welcome to the show on a Tuesday night. I feel great. I feel great. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel great. If I wasn't, I'll let you guys know. But I feel wonderful. I feel great. Cold and windy in Toronto. Man, oh man. Windy and cold. You know what? I could deal with windy or cold, but both together, whew, it's crazy. It's crazy. But here, we was windy over the weekend, but like now it's like it's cold. It was cold for 2 nights in the 40s, which, for Texas, that's cold. And during the day, it's been like in the 60s and 70s, but we work with it. We work with it. I'm excited to get started. Excited to get started. Like you said, when you come, can y'all please hit the like button? And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Send us a wave. Let us know you're here, and we'll get it cracking. All right. I saw the light, man. You good? You good? I know you missed the last live, but I know you caught the replay, so I appreciate that. And as well as I appreciate all your support because you're always here, you're always on time. So look, thank you, thank you, thank you. And did I say I feel great? You know what? We feel good. We feel great. We're gonna get it started. Got a piece of microphone. Got a little. What is that? Got to make sure we fresh. All right. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the likes. We appreciate it. Let's go. Brickyard Media, we up. And we are live.
Break that meeting.
We are live.
Break that meeting.
What up? What up? What up, Bomb Squad? On a Tuesday night, we are here. And we have a good show for you guys lined up. And look, I put this together over the weekend. And we're going to talk about it tonight. Last night's show was good. I got some dislikes, but it's cool. The Gaki, what's up? Okay, so you changed your name from Random Gaki. So now it's just the Gaki. What's happening? All right. So last night's show was a good one, right? We got some dislikes, but we never afraid of the dislikes. We never disappointed by the dislikes. It's good. Any kind of comment or discourse, we okay with it because we always understand. And humans will never agree on everything. We get it. But that's one of the reasons why we have this channel and we have this show, in order to have people with differences of opinions. And so we just had a conversation. So it's cool. But I do understand why last night's show I got dislikes. Whenever we bring up the topic of the CEO or any type of management situation, you're going to have people that don't like what I say, oh, you in the management. No, I'm not. Or yeah, I'm not even gonna say what the other words are. All right. We're gonna try to keep it PG. What up, Nick? Holla at your boy. It's good to see you, my guy. But whenever we have that sort of topic, I get it and I already expect it. It's cool because I know the nature of people. People are gonna disagree, which is fine. It's fine. But when people get in their feelings, sometimes, you know, it just comes out. And that's cool. So we're never gonna stop having a conversation. We're always gonna come here. We're gonna serve the people. That's what we do. We had a conversation on Brick Dot Media, and we not gonna stop. So thank you all for tuning in last night. It was a great show. I think it was insightful based on the feedback that I got, and we're gonna keep it pushing. All right. All right. Y'all see, we gotta have a cup. We gotta have a cup. Yeah. Yeah. Nick. Yeah, man, the Gators won the chip, man. It was a disappointing end to that game, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I saw the light. So yeah, I agree with your attitude on last night's show. To what end will you fight? Automation. It will never take all the jobs, at least yet. It's impossible in 2025. Yeah, so the whole automation thing, there's no need to fight it because what are you fighting? Like, what are you fighting? And we had the show last week basically talking about, if you're going to fight innovation, are you fighting your future or workers' future? Because if companies don't innovate and get better and be more efficient, then where does that leave them? I don't know. Like, where does it leave them? Hey, hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Yo, so it's inevitable. Like you say, Gaki. And there's no need to fight it, but we can get upset, whatever like that. But I just think it's a waste of energy if we're gonna get upset. Just take that energy and effort and put towards something that's actually productive, in my opinion. Because the thing is, like, right now, on this set, I could flip over the table because I'm upset, mad at whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be anything about work. I could just flip my computer, break my phone, throw stuff against the wall. I could punch the wall, throw my light down. But what is that going to do? I may feel better, but then again, I won't because all my stuff is broke. So like, I'm not doing it. And so, we could fight, we could battle, we could throw a tantrum and all of that stuff, but it's not going to solve anything. It's not going to solve anything. So, roll with it, make those adjustments and keep it pushing. I want all y'all to keep it pushing because we're not going to focus on stuff we can't control. All right? Nick says my hours that I just dropped in the chat just disappeared. Yeah, I don't know what that is, man. That must be something with YouTube because yeah, I didn't delete anything and I didn't even see it either. Yeah, I don't see it, Nick. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But, can you type it again? Let us know what's up. Can you type it again? Let us know what's happening. I had a record amount of stops today. I had 172 and, a couple pickups, but 172 stops is light. I mean, it's heavy for me. It's really heavy for me, but I know I had to jump on the live. So, we had to use like the third or fourth gear. Normally I run in gear 2 or 3, but I had to kick it in gear 4. Make sure I get home. What's up, Jude? It's good to see you, my guy. I had to kick it in the high gear to make sure I could make it home in time. But we made it. We here. And I feel like we made it. All you guys made it. All right. What is fair? And we're not talking about the carnival fair. We're talking about what is fair, like fair trade, a fair relationship, a fair attitude. What is fair? I know life is not fair. And I'm not here to preach. All I'm saying is that when we think about what's fair and what's not fair, of course it's subjective. And so what I might think is fair, you might not think is fair. What you might think is fair, nobody else might not think is fair. So it's definitely subjective. And so when it comes to fairness, I don't think it's really a thing, like straightforward. I don't think it's just like black and white at all, because it's based on who's having those feelings at the time and depending on what it is and who it is, right? But in my opinion, I don't think anything is fair. It's just what you make it. If I say, hey, look, I don't think you treat me fairly, then that's my opinion. You might not agree with me, but it doesn't change the fact that whatever happened, whether I think it's fair or not. And so me saying it's fair or not fair is definitely subjective, because it's not going to really change anything. I mean, like, even the court system, like, all the time, like people get convicted and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, well, this is fair and this is not fair. It's never going to be fair. It's never. And I think that's across the board. We run into situations where we like, oh, hey, you're going to get a fair shake. Well, you hope to, but at the same time, you probably won't, because I can always make an argument on this side and I can also make an argument on this side to where it's like, you know what? It's fair over here, but then again, it's not on this side. You see what I'm saying? So this show is going to be predicated around fairness or unfairness. Wait, is unfairness a word? Right. So we're going to go over a few videos and I'm going to try to illustrate my point. But there's some situations that has went on and it's just like, a certain people, drivers, or just individuals in general, not getting a fair shake. And I say that because that's my opinion, and I'll try to explain why I feel that way. Okay? All right. Yeah, man, YouTube, yeah, YouTube put the ads in, man. I don't know. All right. This first video, and by the way, thank y'all for the likes. We appreciate it. And thanks for tuning in. You are appreciated. Absolutely. Okay. This first video, I ran across it. And it's pretty recent, but we'll talk about it. Let's check it out. Nick, man, how many stops you ran today, Nick? I still don't see it. What happened? Thank y'all for the likes. We appreciate it. Let's go.
Tonight, a D.C. woman blasting one of the nation's top package delivery companies, UPS, after she says two of its drivers stole her wallet from her driveway. And now one of those workers has been fired. It is a story you will only see on Fox 5. Our Bob Barnard live tonight in Northeast.
All right, so first, I see the driver got in the truck, right? And then I guess that's the helper was standing out. Driver gets in, and it seems like the driver helper, leans over and picks up an item off of the sidewalk. Okay? Just want to make sure we're clear on what we're seeing right now. All right? Let's keep going.
With those details, Bob.
Hey there, Marina. Once again, a person in a position of trust is caught on camera behaving badly.
Look, all right. Let me stop it, all right? So, the media, they will do this. Like, hey, somebody that's trusted, which I get it. Like, you know, delivery drivers are trusted individuals, at least they should be. But they're in a trusted position, not meaning that they are trustworthy. There's a difference. But the media would say like, oh, hey, a trusted person, you know, they did this and did that. I get it. You have to have a description or, you know, get something for the listener or the viewer to watch the video. So I get it. Is that fair or not? Since we're talking about fairness, I'll hold my opinion right now, but let's keep going. All right.
You've seen the videos of delivery drivers doing the right thing.
I remember this video.
In this one, a FedEx employee fighting off a porch pirate, trying to steal a package he's delivering. And then there are the ones who go the other way. This FedEx employee got fired for throwing a box onto a...
Yo, this FedEx driver, I mean, he throws, okay, we're not going to get too far off, but he throws the box and really, in my opinion, he exerts more energy throwing the box than he would if he would have just walked it over to the door. But that's just my observation. But I don't know what's going on here, but let's keep going.
To a customer's front step. And now there's this video of two UPS employees apparently stealing a customer's wallet from her driveway here in Northeast DC.
All right, so it looks like the driver looks down at the package or the item or whatever, and they chose not to. But the driver goes into the truck, and it seems like the helper picks up the item. With the driver back's turned, I'm not sure if the driver even knows that the helper picked up the item. All right, let's keep going.
This was on Wednesday of this week.
I have a cousin who's a driver. I have a friend who worked at the corporate office, right? So I know how hard they work. I respect them. I try to, be kind to them and to have this happen, it was unnecessary. It was truly unnecessary and just wrong.
Kelly Adams says her ordeal started during that crazy rainstorm Wednesday when she got home from a luncheon and dropped her wallet onto her driveway while getting out of her Lyft.
That wallet, like it flew out of the door. Like that sucker just went woof. Let's keep going.
That was captured in this video clip.
Got rained on, so I ran upstairs to change shirts really quickly. I see the UPS drivers. I'm literally looking for the wallet because I would like to tip them.
This next video shows.
All right, so this part right here, and I'm not saying she's lying, but yeah, she was looking to tip the driver. Maybe, I'm not saying she's not telling the truth, but most people don't tip, and she might be one of those that do tip. But I don't know. I just think it just adds a little extra sauce to the story. But clearly the driver helper and the driver, they're wrong in this situation. But I don't think she was going to tip. But then again, I might be wrong. Let's keep going.
Was the seasonal worker picking up the wallet and taking it with them. Kelly says it wasn't until she checked her Ring videos that she saw what happened.
I was right there thanking them for what they did. And again, looking for my wallet so I could give them a tip, a Christmas tip.
Kelly says she
No, I've gotten tips on my route. I've gotten tips from customers. Like, it's not a great percentage during peak season that you're going to get tips. I know some drivers get a lot of tips, and we're not going to focus on this too much, but all I'm saying is that, she might have been looking for the driver and the helper to tip them, but I don't know if I believe it. But like I said, I might be wrong, but it just adds extra sauce to the story. Like, it's already unfortunate that the stuff was stolen, her wallet was stolen, but it adds a little extra oomph to be like, hey, I was about to tip him, But let's keep going.
Learned from UPS today that one of the employees dropped the wallet off at the Bladensburg post office, not in an envelope with her address on it, just the wallet itself. So she went and collected it this morning.
My money's gone, so over $2,000 is gone. And gift cards are gone. I think they try to use a card because it's like chewed up or something in a weird way.
UPS sent us a statement this afternoon, and it reads in part, the temporary seasonal hire has been terminated. This incident does not reflect our values. We have no tolerance for theft. UPS employees are trained to perform their jobs with integrity and professionalism. Kelly says that's not good enough. She's asked police to press charges against both the helper and the driver, who she says knew what was happening.
I'm sorry. You made a bad choice, and now there's consequences to those actions. And I just hope.
Now, she wants the charges pressed on the driver and the helper. I understand from her side. Is it fair? I don't know. For sure, the helper should be held accountable. Definitely. The driver, it seems as if the driver might have looked down at the wallet, but you can't really be sure. You can't really be sure because we are supposed to look before we step. And I'm not making excuses, but you look before you step. So maybe they was looking down where they walking. It's not clear. It's not like the driver, hey, pointed at the wallet and said, hey, pick it up or whatever. So we don't know if the driver should also be held responsible. It's a little gray area right there, but definitely the sticky fingers helper should definitely be held accountable or responsible. And like I said, the driver had his back turned, and I'm not sure what words was exchanged, but the driver had their back turned. So I don't know. But I think it's a little much to say, hey, I want to charge both of them or whatever. But let's keep going.
As a district, we start to actually prosecute people as opposed to just let them walk around doing bad things and continuing to do bad things. It's terrible.
All right, so this is not the first time we covered, something like this where the helper was dishonest and took something that wasn't theirs. This is not the first time. And like I said before, during the holiday season, you hiring helpers, you need as many people as possible. You need, grab your brother, your neighbor, your dog. We need your grandfather, even if they barely could walk. Look, we need everybody. We're going to put them with a driver and we're going to get these packages delivered. They hire at a fast rate in which you can't do a background on everybody because there's so many people. And I don't think they want to. And plus, it's probably too expensive. But you get people in. Hey, you have a pulse? Come on in here. You have 2 legs? We need you over here. We're going to put you at the mall. All right? You know how to read? Let's go. And so these types of people, they're going to slip through the cracks and they're going to get in there and they're going to do stuff that's not right. And it makes everybody look bad. Is that fair? It's not. And I can say, look, it's not fair for you to say, oh, UPS drivers are dirty. Driver helpers are dirty because, hey, he stole my wallet. Oh, the driver knew. That's not fair because we don't know if the driver knew. But, hey, all UPS drivers, all FedEx drivers, all they do is steal. That's not fair either. But fairness is subjective. But when people do things like this, it puts a stain on everybody. It makes us all look as if, hey, you could probably do it too. Or, hey, make sure your UPS guy delivers your stuff or don't drop anything on the sidewalk because you might not see it. That's not fair. But that's why we're talking about what's fair and what's not. Let's keep going.
And again, Kelly says the UPS employees had an easy out. She was standing right there. They could have handed her wallet, and they chose to go the other way. Guys.
A suspect on the loose this.
All right. And so, like I said, that video is pretty disappointing. And like I said, whenever I have a helper in the car, I watch everything they do. I don't watch them eat and I don't watch them go to the restroom. I don't do those 2 things. But everything else, and I'm not saying that other drivers should do this as well. I'm going to just tell y'all what I do. Because they're my responsibility. If they get ill or if they need a breather, a rest, they starting to hyperventilate or they start coughing real bad or they start getting overheated or anything like that, I have to know as a driver because they are my responsibility. Now, it's extremely hard to see like, hey, look, I need to watch every step they take because ultimately I'm responsible. This past year, I had my son as my helper. I trust him, of course, but if I don't have my son, I try to create a good relationship with the helper to let them know I'm watching you. I'm not going to say it, but they understand that I'm real thorough. And I'm not saying other people have to do this as well, but it's just that you get held responsible. If they get hurt, you get held responsible. I mean, hopefully they don't get hit by a car because they're going to be looking at you like, hey, why'd you let them get hit by a car? And so we can't blame the driver, but at the same time, maybe the driver should have been a little more observant. I mean, it's unfortunate, but when it comes to fairness, it makes all of us look bad because it's like a stain. Like, oh, these trusted drivers, they stole $2,000 out of my wallet. And so, somebody watches this story on the television and I come walk to the door, I knock on the door, hey, UPS, and I need a signature. They looking at me when they just finished watching the story on TV. It's like, oh, they're going to give me that ugly look. They're going to look at me. They're going to sign one name. They're going to look back at me. They're going to see what I got in my hand. They're going to keep signing. And they're going to judge me. Even though this is in another state. They don't know me from a can of paint. But it puts a stain on everybody. And it looks bad. And that's not fair. Okay? I saw the light say $2,000. LOL, maybe. But I doubt it. Yeah, I mean, we don't know how much cash she had, she could have had 1,000, 2,000, 500. She could have had $25. We don't know, but it's cash. And so, you can pretty much say whatever the amount. And it seems as if was reported that they tried to use a card or they also stole gift cards. So, man, people just need to not take other things that's not theirs. It's just crazy. Now, if that was me, and I'm just saying, if that was me and I seen I would have just assumed like, okay, well, maybe it's for the person that lives here. And plus it's raining too. Like, man, I'm trying to get out of the rain. I'm probably not even going to mess with it, but I probably would have picked it up and took it into the house or knocked on the door and said, hey, is this yours? But I feel weird with like other people's stuff. And like, if you hand me something that's yours, like, I don't really want to touch it. Like, it's just weird to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm different, but Ricky Rose, what's up, Ricky? How's it going, my guy? Thanks for your support. We appreciate it. Drivers are responsible for the helpers. You are right. You are right. I feel like the driver saw the wallet. It should have been obvious to pick it up and take it back to the house. That's common sense. I agree with you, Ricky. I agree with you 100%. 100%. It does seem like the driver might have looked down, but we don't know for sure. But it was quick. But I'm not sure if you can absolutely just hold a driver responsible because, if we go on break, if me and my helper go on break, and I'm just saying, like, not my son, but like anybody else, and they decide to go in the store and take something that's not theirs or something that they didn't pay for, am I also held responsible? It's just like, if that was me, I'd be like, look, we about to take a break. You sit right here. You sit right here. But I don't have that problem with my son. But it's unfortunate. And that other driver, too, the one that had the guy that took the Apple Watch, the helper that took the Apple Watch, they were in the truck and the helper did it like in front of the people's house. And so there's no way for that driver to know. It's just tough. But it's not fair, one, to hold a driver accountable because we don't know for a fact that he's seen the wallet and he perpetuate the crime. And then two, like, we don't like we just don't know for sure. So you can't just say like, oh yeah, he looked down at it, because we don't know. It's really I'm on the fence about that. I'm not sure. There's no clear evidence. Now, if he would have pointed at it, oh yeah, that would have definitely been obvious. But people don't understand, it's cameras everywhere. It's cameras everywhere. I mean, even if cameras are broken down and not showing HD, still showing a 720p or whatever, they still there, right? I Saw the Light also said, as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Never lying. He chose to move on to the next stop, in my honest opinion. Not realizing the helper will steal it, but the driver only knows if he saw it or not and what choice that he made. I appreciate you. Never want to see stuff like that. But like I said, guys, it puts a stain on us drivers, no matter who you work for. All right, let's get into this next video. See what we got here.
This morning after a FedEx driver was robbed. Hi, everyone. I'm Tara Joyce.
And I'm Lisa Salvadori. It happened in Dobbs Ferry, and that's where we find News 12's Lisa LaRocca live this morning with an update. Lisa.
Yeah, and pretty brazen, too, right in the middle of the afternoon. Police are saying it was right over here on Hillside Road, really tight, kind of windy road there. Just before 3 o'clock, a FedEx driver delivering a package. And according to investigators.
All right, just before 3 p.m. So broad daylight, no matter if it's daylight savings time or whatever, it doesn't really matter. But broad daylight, right before 3. Okay, so make sure we get that context. All right, so let's keep going.
A man described as Hispanic claimed the package belonged to him. Well, after a confrontation, police say the man.
So he claimed the package on the side of the road. Like, hey, that's my package. I want my package. Give me my package. All right. And it's crazy.
Pushed the driver down to the ground and he grabbed the package. A black Honda Civic then pulled up. The suspect jumped in and he grabbed the package. A black Honda Civic then pulled up. The suspect jumped in, and the car was last seen heading south towards Hastings-on-Hudson. Now, police are saying they believe this was an isolated, targeted incident, so there's no threat to the public. But they are asking folks in the area to check their home surveillance system. So if you have Ring cameras, that kind of thing, check it out and see if you may have captured an image of this happening or the car or anything like that. And police say if you do, reach out to them and could help them out in their investigation.
All right, so definitely a targeted attack, because how I know it was targeted, well, there's a few clues to tell me that it was targeted. So the suspect pushes down the driver and ran off with the package. Now, if you were a male, 25, to 55 years old, in fairly good shape, which, that's most people, right? Most drivers, you're probably not going to just get pushed down by some random guy, right? Not unless he's like super cock strong, got like 12-inch biceps or 14-inch biceps. I don't know what they're running these days, but unless you some bodybuilder, you just going around pushing people down. Like the average driver is not going to just get pushed down like that. So they didn't have too much details, but it sounds as if the driver might have been an older guy. And, so I think it was targeted. I think that they watched this guy over time and said, hey, look, he's a little older guy. He might be a little frail. He might not have his balance all the way. So we can overpower him physically with one person. And we'll catch him on the side of the road and demand my package that's not even mine. And we'll push him down. And once he lands or once he falls down, he's going to be trying to get up. He's not going to be able to get up. And he'll be kicking, trying to get up. And he's not going to be able to get up because, he's an older guy. So, yeah, I think it definitely was targeted. And they knew exactly who they was going for. And they knew exactly what they was going to try to do. And it was planned out in broad daylight. And so that's unfortunate. Now, it's not fair to the driver. You just minding your business, trying to make an honest day work for an honest day pay, trying to get it popping, provide for your family. You might retire soon, who knows? But you just minding your business, doing your job, and a fool accompanied by a getaway driver runs up on you and takes a package that is not theirs and physically overpowers you and throws you to the ground, and that's just the end of it. That's unfortunate. But, you know, this is the world we live in. We out here looking like food to some people, you know, some of us. And, you know, we're vulnerable out in these streets because, I mean, you know, if somebody follows me when I'm working, and let's just say like, oh yeah, you know, we don't want to target him, you're probably going to have to bring more than one person. Nah, if you only have one person, I'm not saying I'm going to fight you because I don't fight, but you better bring some extra weapons or something like that, because I'm not going to just, you know, I got a big head, but it's not that big to where I'm going to just fall over. So I'm not going to just, you know, you push me, I'm not going to just, oh, you know, fall in the ditch. I'm not going to do that. And so you might want to bring some extra people because it's not going to be that easy. But we are vulnerable out there, and then, you know, people size you up, they mitigate the risk, and they take a chance. And so that's what happened here. I'm glad the guy did not get hurt and, you know, live to see another day. Now, if he's in fact close to retirement, he might think about retiring a little sooner, because even though I didn't hear if a weapon was involved, but, you know, a situation like that, you know, you get scared and, you know, you think the worst, right? And so that person might consider retiring now. You know, even if they were like a year or two from retirement, they might consider it now. And that's sad, but stuff like that happens and it sucks. But it's not fair to the driver. Just mind their business, trying to make an honest living, and crap happens like that. It's not fair. All right. Okay. I saw the light. Yeah, the driver might have saw that. I'll say it's a 50-50 chance that driver in that first video, I want to say it's 50-50 that they saw it. I might be wrong, but I'm going to go with 50-50, you know. Not realizing his helper will steal it. Man, look, man. And a lot of times these drivers get these helpers and they have one on Monday. Okay. All right, let's scratch that. One on Tuesday. Then if it doesn't work out or the helper doesn't show up on Wednesday, a different one on Wednesday. And maybe they might have that one for like Wednesday and Thursday, and they get sick on Friday, which, you know, everybody gets sick on Friday. They get sick on Friday, so they have a different one. So between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, they might have 3 helpers. And so you get to know people, it's going good, and then boom, you have somebody new. And so, I mean, it happens. It happens a lot. A lot of musical chairs, a lot of moving around. And if people don't have good chemistry, I know drivers that in a minute, hey, they get you out like, hey, it's not working out. Hey, this person got they got a body odor, or hey, they stay on their phones, or you know, they didn't have the right shoes on, or, you know, they kept playing video games on their phone. Like, you know, we couldn't work, we couldn't get in a good rhythm. They in the way, you know, so it's like, you know, be swapping people out, man. And then when people are starting to not show up to work, like you get a good one and then they don't show up to work, it's frustrating. So, you know, a lot of people moving around in and out. It's like you get somebody good, you got to hold on to them. And then you try to get to know somebody and then they take them away. So it's like, it sucks. But it's a bad situation. It's a bad situation. Let's see. Okay, we got. Let's go.
Only on KHOU 11 tonight, a family says they're being cautious after who they thought was a delivery man ended up being a thief.
Trayson Bragg is live in Southside Place with the exclusive, all new at 6. Trayson?
Well, we've all seen video of bold thieves stealing packages even in broad daylight. Well, these days, it turns out you can't even trust someone wearing a uniform.
Peaceful, safety, welcoming.
That's how this young man who asked not to be identified described his Southside Place neighborhood. But his opinion may be changing just a bit after a FedEx delivery earlier this month.
I went out and I was like, no, Mom, I don't see the package. I was like, huh.
After scouring the front porch, this family decided to check their surveillance cameras. It showed a female FedEx delivery driver drop off a package with 2 new cell phones inside.
However,
Oh, that's nice for the driver to use the driver release bags. We call those driver release bags. I'm not sure what FedEx calls them, but just to make sure your packages don't get wet. Yeah, hopefully it's in a safe place, but you can't really tell from that picture. But shouts out to that driver for using driver release bags because a lot of times people don't care about your packages. All right, let's keep going.
however, about 8 minutes later, there was another man that was wearing the same FedEx uniform. He took the package.
All right, so he walks up as if he's important. I see he has a shirt on. I'm not sure if that's the shorts or not. He has a gray undershirt, looks like. He has a cell phone or a device. I'm not sure what that is under his arm. It's like a Ziploc bag of some sort, some type of plastic bag or a clipboard or something. And he has a Nike cap on, a blue Nike cap, I guess, to match the uniform. So it doesn't look out of sorts for the average person, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, it definitely looks suspicious because I know what FedEx drivers wear. I know what they don't wear. And it looks odd to me, but most people will get fooled. Let's keep going.
Package and walked away. So is this a mistake?
Confused, he called FedEx and tells me the company said there was no second driver. Taking a closer look at their video, they noticed something.
He was wearing a hat and try to cover a face. He's like, who wears a hat in in a bend in this degree weather?
They now believe their visitor was actually.
Yeah, so I don't think it has anything to do with the hat and the weather, but you can definitely tell that he or she, is like a guy, he recognized the cameras. And so he made sure he kept looking down to make sure the bill of the cap, make sure it doesn't expose his face to the camera. Let's keep going.
A clever imposter in a costume hiding his real job, stealing packages. It's something we've seen before with news reports of similar scenes in Connecticut and Oklahoma. Closer to home, Bel Air PD say several months ago they caught a porch pirate posing as an Amazon delivery driver. And tonight, Southside Place police say they're going to be on the lookout for this thief.
The thing about some imposter can just come up to you and act like they're here to help. In reality, they're just robbing you. That's kind of a really top tier scary thing to think about.
Scary indeed. Now, we did reach out to FedEx to see if they are aware of these imposters. A rep did not directly answer our questions about the imposters or about this particular incident, but they did send a statement that reads, "The security of our customers' shipments is a top priority, and we encourage any customer who believes a shipment has been stolen to immediately contact law enforcement."
All right, so the thing is, we're talking about fairness. We want to keep it on fairness. Is it fair to say that, hey, look, I think the FedEx driver, the real driver, not the imposter, might have had something to do with it, or maybe it was a setup or inside job or some of the sorts, right? Is it fair for me to say, and I know some people would say that. I'm not saying I'm saying it, but, some people might say, was this person following the FedEx driver? How did they get the uniform? Was it an inside job? I don't think it's fair to the driver without proof, but at the same time, people will speculate. And you cannot stop people from speculating at all, because people are going to say, you know what, I believe this. And you know how we do. We believe something, we think is the law, because we like, oh, I'm sure. We don't know for sure, but it looks very suspicious. They have the shirt. They might have the shorts. They're hiding from the camera. So how did they know it was a camera there? Right? So is it fair for me to say the real driver know what's up, know what was going on, knew there was 2 cell phones, and it wasn't, well, I guess if it was a package of not much value, let's say, I don't know, a brand new wallet or something that wasn't, too valuable, we probably won't hear it in the news. But the fact that it was 2 cell phones, we know, like, okay, well, it was high value shipments. But driver knowing that it was cell phones, hey, there's a camera right here, wear this shirt, make sure you cover your face. Most people probably look at that and say, hey, nah, that was an inside job. Is it fair to the driver? Probably not, because we can't prove that. However, it looks suspicious. Then let's say 80% of people think it was inside job. Now you saying like, oh, those FedEx drivers no good. Those UPS drivers, they're no good. And that's not really fair either. But it's not fair, but they're using their past experiences and what they see in the media to say, you know what? Those drivers are crooked. You need to watch it. You need to watch your shipments. If a driver come up to your door and they're in full uniform, don't believe them, because they might be an imposter. And that's fair, because if they basing that on stuff they have seen in the media, in the news, they just being cautious. So I can't say that they're wrong. They just based off what they're experienced. And that's fair for them. Is not fair for us. And that's why I made this show about fairness. Like, what is fair? What isn't fair? We can't control it, because it's based off of what you think and what you know and how you want to protect yourself. And we have no control about how people perceive us. I mean, I don't care if I was a bank teller, if somebody maybe got done dirty by a bank teller in the past, maybe 10, 15 years ago, and I'm a bank teller today, and they come into the bank, they're going to be looking at me up and down, because they're going to group all bank tellers together. They're going to put you in a group and say, you know what? This happened to me, so I think most of y'all are dirty. That's not fair, but it happens every single day. Every day. What's up, Jude? What's happening, Jude? Thanks for joining the stream. We appreciate it, my guy. What's up, Cam? How's it going? Okay, so Cameron said a package delivery driver job got posted about an hour away from where I live. He said he applied, took the road test today, and passed. Wait, hold on. Let me read that again, Cam. Let me read that again. Package delivery driver job got posted about an hour away from where I live. He applied, took the road test today, and he passed. Now on to the next steps. Congratulations, Cam, and good luck. Good luck to you. I seen over the weekend, I seen a couple driving jobs up. It was like 2. I looked about 8 hours later, they were gone. I looked again on, yesterday, nothing. And so it's definitely touch and go. Like, as soon as they get enough, apps, they take it down, which I get it, Jude said he don't like the driver helper program. yeah, I mean it's rushed. It's what they have to do is they have to try to get people in there and get them some reps before the real volume hits at a certain time. Either right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving or whatever. But so like you want to get people in to kind of get them up to speed on what's going on, and at the same time they try to limit the hours. We all see that, and so they don't just give you like, hey, look, hey, let your helper work 6 hours today. It's always like 2.5, 3 hours, for weeks until they start, ramping up. And that's if they do it at all. They'll ramp up the hours and say like, okay, well now they could work 3.5 hours. Like, man, that's the same thing. But during the application process, they don't really tell them how many hours they can work, but they find out. They come in there and they find out, and it's just like, I know a few helpers this past peak season that quit. It was like, man, I'm not working enough. I get it. Look, I totally understand. Jay Allen, what's happening? What's happening, bro? You all right? Yeah, the helper program, it needs improvement, but I'm not sure how much they can improve because of the circumstances. You can't just give people a whole bunch of hours and the work's not there. The work has to be justified, and they won't do it unless it's justified, or the hours have to be justified with the work, and vice versa. Yeah. All right, so coming up on the channel, guys, I know they had a couple questions about tariffs last night. I didn't get to them, not on purpose, but it's just that we ran out of time, and I seen them at the last minute, so I couldn't address it. But coming up on the channel, we're gonna deep dive into the no tax on overtime. And this is going to affect a lot of people. This is going to affect a lot of people in general, but this is going to affect a lot of people in the delivery transportation industry, hourlies who get overtime. And so we're going to address it, the pros and cons, and what, if it is to pass, what people need to do in order to level up once it does pass, if it does pass. So we're going to deep dive into that. Most likely what we're going to do is probably do a video. Then we probably do a live stream within 3 days of each other. So we'll drop a video about it, and then we'll do a live stream. We'll backdoor with a live stream about no tax on overtime. Now, that gets a lot of people warm and fuzzy inside, and it gets some people angry inside and outside. I don't agree with, well, in my opinion, the people that get angry over it, I'm not really sure why the anger. Maybe they aren't hourlies, maybe, but I don't understand how that's not a good thing. And so, we'll deep dive and we'll check it out. Yeah, I saw the light, said, man, that would be nice. You Americans are lucky. Americans. I love my country. I think we spoiled, though. We spoiled big time. We spoiled people. But it's good. It's good. We pay a lot of taxes. Because our money gets spent like it's a fire sale all the time. So we pay a lot of taxes. So yeah, the no tax on overtime will be we'll be good. You know, if it does pass, I have some plans, and we'll talk about that on the video. But you know, I have some plans about what I'm gonna do if it was to pass, and what I would do differently, and we'll deep dive into that. But yeah, it will be nice. But I do not understand the people that gets upset over it, even though it hasn't passed yet. I'm not sure why that's a bad thing, but I don't know. If it's possible and if it's implemented, I think everybody should be happy. You know, even if you're not affected, you're gonna be affected, because if you're in the industry that sells stuff, which in America, you know, we sell stuff, and you know, everybody sells stuff. If you're in the industry where your business sells stuff, and I'm not getting taxed on my overtime, and I'm spending more money with your company that you work for or you own, that's good for you. Where you can't directly benefit from the no tax on OT, but if I'm spending more money with your company, that's good for you. And so most people will be affected, you know, in a good way. But we Americans, we are spoiled, and we want what we want, and we want it right now. And sometimes we don't like things, and we spoil. We kick our feet like little babies, and you know, until we get what we want, and then we get it, then we stop crying, and then we start crying again for something else. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what we do. Yep. So hey, thank y'all for all the likes. I appreciate it. The channel is growing. I would have never thought that the channel would be where it's at. I would have never thought, but thanks to all of you guys, y'all been holding me down. Y'all send me emails. I appreciate it. And we always trying to get better. We're going to be making some changes here pretty soon, but good changes. Y'all see the changes. It'll be good changes, but make some changes here pretty soon. But it's all up from here. It's all up from here. Jay Allen says waiting 1 year after getting DQ'd is a bit excessive. Rules, I guess. Yeah, man. Is it still 1 year? Is it still 1 year? Jude, hey, peace out, bro. Thanks for all the support, Jude. You always here, man. You always holding me down. I appreciate you, bro. Have a good night. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Enjoy the journey. Yeah, is it still a year after you get DQ'd? I don't know why I'm thinking in my head that it's 9 months now, but it still might be a year. But man, we had this one. It was an insider, and they tried to drive like 4 different times, and yeah, they kept getting DQ'd. And so I want to say the 4th time it was, you know, that was it. So I mean, but they are better at the inside work, because I've seen them work inside and they're really good at their job. And so look, hey, stick to that. You know, everything isn't for everybody. We all know that. And so if you're really good at something, I say stick with it. But I'm not saying don't try other stuff, but yeah, they tried, and you know, it wasn't working out, so they had to DQ them a 4th time. But you know, they're good where they at, and I've spoken with them. I say, hey, look, you do a good job at that. I mean, like, driving isn't for everybody. It should not be for everybody. And we got some drivers now that they probably shouldn't be driving, but they doing what they doing. But yeah, a year is safe though, man. I think a year it kind of gets your mind cleared, and like reset, and just kind of think about what got you DQ'd in the first place. It kind of helps you out a little bit. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but I have seen drivers get DQ'd, and I mean I deal with them because I'm in safety. So if it's a safety related infraction that gets them DQ'd, I know about it, and so when they come back the next year, they excited and they super focus on what got them DQ'd in the first place. And so they make those adjustments, and they end up 9 times out of 10 they end up doing well that second year. So yeah, Jay, man, let me know when you're ready to go again. Yeah, so keep us updated with that, and good luck with everything. All right, man, I like the likes, man. We appreciate y'all, and we'll be live again soon. We're gonna shoot for Friday night, and probably around the same time. And I'm gonna try to avoid the margaritas on Friday. It's hard to avoid margaritas on Friday, so I'm gonna try to avoid the margaritas, and we're gonna try to get on here. Okay, Cameron got a question. I'm gonna try to answer it. What do people normally get DQ for? Okay, so what I see the most when it comes to being on the safety side, which, like I'm gonna say half the time is on the safety side and half the time is on performance, right? So what I see on the safety side is just unsafe practices, just bad driving. Putting yourself, the vehicle, and your passenger in bad situations in which anything could happen. This driver that I speak of, the insider, the last straw was, and we already had been with this driver for 4 years, driving for Pete, and the last straw, it was just like driven into the median, or not the median, like on a crossover in heavy traffic. You don't really have to come out, but they came out and they hung out in a crossover and had a near crash with a car that was approaching the crossover. And it was just kind of like the thing that, okay, well, this person isn't safe, and they almost got people killed. And so, yeah, that's what happened with that. But I'm going to say half the time is safety related, half the time, the other half is performance or any kind of, Jay Allen said he missed a pickup and had a late air. Yeah, so like that's performance based. And so, yeah, if you're not making progress, and let's say if you don't even make scratch, if you don't even run scratch, but if you're making progress towards it, I've seen people push through by making progress. But if you just you get to a certain point and you're not getting better on the road, they might get you out of there for that. You might not make it. But when it comes to safety, man, you're not safe. And now with the Lytx cameras, if you following too close on people, you're not stopping at stop signs, you're speeding all the time, they can see all of that. All of that gets recorded. And so if you're brand new, you're trying to qualify, and you're tailgating, in your packet, it's not a good deal. It's not a good deal at all. So those types of things, and just not getting the material, not getting the 5s and 10s, just not making progress on learning them, and not understanding how to apply them is another thing too. Because you can have the material, but are you going to be able to take it and apply it to your driving when you're actually driving? So those are just a few things that will get you DQ'd. But I just don't like it. And maybe because I'm in safety, but I just don't like it when people are not safe and they don't care about it. That's not a good thing to me, because, people relying on you. you know. So if you don't care about your safety, then why should we care about it, you know? But be safe, you know, be efficient with your time, you know, be to work on time. That's another thing too. I've seen people late, like 2 days out of the week. It got them out. But yeah, I mean, you can't work and provide if you're not alive. So you got to be safe. You got to put safety first. So I know that's cliche. People don't want to hear it, but you know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. We lose too many UPSers at UPS, you know, for people just to ignore the safety part of it. But, you know, I'm passionate about that. So, like, it's kind of hard for me to not talk about it. But anyways, guys, it's been a good show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we will catch you on the next live stream. And, okay, what's today? Tuesday? We're dropping a video Thursday. And most likely we'll be doing a live stream on Friday. You'll see the update here on the channel. All right. Brick Dot Media. We'll see you on the next stream. We are out.